Now in the chapter of algebraic fractions and subtract formula, let's take a look at checkpoint 6.3 part 8. Now city A and city B are 300 kilometers apart. Okay, so let's see here. A and B, 300 kilometers. Now, Nelson sets off at 10:30 and drives at an average speed of x kilometers per hour from city A to B. Okay, so Frank sets off from city B at the same time and drives through city A at an average speed of 15 kilometers faster than Nelson. So Nelson sets off at 10:30. What is his speed? His speed is x kilometers per hour. Okay, from A to B, so this way. Then Frank sets off from B, alright, drive towards A. This is Frank. Okay, then he's actually going at a speed that is x plus 15 kilometer per hour. Correct? The same time, so also 10:30. Now write an expression for the time taken, okay, for Nelson to travel from city A to city B. So obviously, again, your triangle DST. So D equals to speed times time, right? So they're looking for the time. So time equals to distance divided by speed. So you're looking at time for Nelson would be 300 divided by x. Then for Frank, time for Frank would be 300 over x plus 15. So far so good? Okay. Now given that Frank takes an hour faster than Nelson to cover the distance between city A and B, form an equation. So who is slower now? Okay, obviously Nelson is slower, right? Because Nelson's speed is also slower. So you always take the time that is more, which is in other words slower, minus away the time that is lesser, in other words faster. Okay, to give you the difference in time. So in this case, how will your equation look like? Your equation should look like, okay, 300x minus with 300x plus 15 to give you 1 hour, right? So 1 hour. Now notice, if let's say they give you minutes, you have to convert these to hours. Always remember why? Because your average speed is all given in terms of kilometers per hour. Okay, so then they ask you, okay, form an equation and show that it reduces to this particular equation. So what I'll do is, I will make them the same denominator. Okay, x plus 15, you have x plus 15 over here, minus away 300x, okay, again, x plus 15 equals to 1. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll actually combine them together. So 300x, alright, 300 multiplied by 15 will give you 4500 minus away 300x over x plus 15 equals to 1. Cross multiply, okay, you will have 4500 equals to x squared plus 15x. Now realize what does this look like? Okay, it looks like a quadratic equation, right? Okay, so press into your calculator or do cross factorization. Okay, do your factorization to get x minus 60 as well as x plus 75 equals to 0 here. So you see, oh sorry, you shouldn't even factorize it because down here they're just asking you to show. So let's just show this first. Okay, shown. That's all. Then part C, they ask you to find the speed, right? Now, then you need to solve for x. Why? Because x technically means the speed. Okay, so then you will take this factor. Now, always remember, for my students, I always tell them, even if you cannot show, the answer is already there. So it doesn't mean that you cannot do part B means you cannot do part C. Look at the answer that they've given you, continue to find your answer. Okay, continue to factorize. You can still factorize even though you're not able to show them. And always remember, your show question will always utilize A, part 1 and part 2. It's just the way you arrange it and what numbers you equate it to. So read the question very carefully. Okay, so once you're done, let's take a look at x equals to 60 and x equals to negative 75. Now my question to you is, can speed be a negative value? No, right? So what should you be doing? You should be rejecting. Okay, now only reject if let's say the question asks you to put this x value into context. If the question just asks you to solve for this equation, do you need to reject? No, because x still exists as that value. Okay, so Nelson, and you're not done here. So Nelson has a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, right? Whereas Frank is x plus 15. So you have 75 kilometers per hour over here. So in this question for part D, okay, you're actually asked to use a hence. So hence meaning to say you need to use the speed that you actually found, right? To actually find the time at the instant when Nelson and Frank pass by each other during the journey, give your answer corrected to nearest minute. So let's take a look, okay? If I draw one timeline here, this is A, this is B. We know that in this direction, okay, we know that in this direction, you are traveling in the, right? You're traveling in the speed, with the speed of 75 kilometers per hour, whereby from here it is 60 kilometers per hour. Now the total distance for this entire A to B is actually 300 kilometers, right? So let's say, assuming I put an X here, okay, this is the point where they meet, which means, let's say I will let this be X. Okay, so what is this? This will be 300 minus X. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so for the bottom portion, okay, I will have this, all right, and then for the top portion, I will have this color, this. Okay, so let's take a look over here. Now, sorry, this one should be, the yellow color should be on the other end. This one is 300 minus X, okay, of which this is what you're looking at, because they are going in opposite directions. Alright, so what you know for a matter of fact is that the time where they meet is the same, correct or not? It's just that the distance is different. So what do you need to do? Find X. Okay, so now knowing that the time is the same, we will have X divided by 60. Okay, it is actually equal to this direction, alright, which is 300 minus X, distance divided by speed. Cross multiply, what should you be getting? You should get 75x equals to 18000 minus 60x, of which 135x equals to 18000, x equals to 1331 over 3 kilometers. Okay, so which means you know how far this distance is, alright, where they actually stop. Now then, they ask you to find the time taken. So now that you know the distance, okay, the time, alright, of which this happens is 1331 over 3 divided by 60. This should give you 2 over 9 hours. Now maybe you can do a check, okay? So this one is probably Nelson. And then the time at which Frank, you will take 300 minus 1331 over 3 divided by 75. You will also get 2 over 9 hours. This shows that the time where they reach is the same, right? Okay, so how long is 2 over 9? Okay, 2 over 9. You will minus away 2 times 60. Okay, you should be getting 2 hours, 13.33 minutes. Right? Okay, so down here they're asking for the determine the time at the instant. So initially they started their journey at 10:30, right? So 10:30 plus 2 hours, 1 hour, 1 hour. 11:30, 12:30, right? And then you add an additional 13.33 minutes. You should be getting a 1 to 12:43. That's the nearest minute. So this would be your nearest minute and your final answer. Okay?